Notifying viewers that I am live. Notify him then. Notify him then. Let him know. Notify him then. We are live. I'm going to try this TikTok thing out while it's still while it's still available to use. At least in its current state. Where the hell? It just is. Not much difference. There's difference. Let's try to do it like that. No. Got a better spot. My phone, my car doesn't have really a good place to put a phone mount. Like it was designed to be anti-phone mount or something, but yeah. Which sucks because my last car had a better phone mount. But here we are. This is a live. You've waited long enough. If you catch it, you catch it. This is going to be a live review of the new Naked Gun movie, Naked Gun 2025, with Liam Neeson. I was super excited for this one. I was like, let me make sure I get provisions ready beforehand, get myself ready beforehand, get my mind right beforehand. You know what I mean? Breathe in, breathe out. And so yeah, I decided, all right, let's go see this Naked Gun movie and give y'all on TikTok the exclusive real-time review as I just leave the theater. And it was alright. It was alright. The first part of this section is not going to be spoiler written, although I guess there are such things as spoilers for this movie, but it was okay. It was okay. My problem, and this isn't much of a spoiler because they kind of spoiled it themselves. My problem is that there were too many jokes that I saw in the trailer, and I didn't really see the trailer that much. Like I saw the Lethal Weapon trailer, the Naked Gun trailer with Liam Neeson in the bank. I saw the reveal and all that other stuff, and I'm like, okay, that's cool, but that was in the movie. And I saw two trailers. I saw the first trailer, and then there's this latest trailer that I guess is circulating on social media right now featuring Pamela Anderson more, but I didn't even really see it. Like, I didn't even really watch it. Like, the volume was off. It was scrolling through something, and it came up. And so I saw, like, the back end of it. And the problem is that those had some really good jokes in it, but I saw them already. Like, I was expecting... I was hoping for something. I was hoping for something better, and then I saw an early review of it, Jeremy Johns, and he was like, "Oh, it's good for Blu-ray too." And I'm like, I'm like, okay, I kind of trust. I trust Jeremy Johns, and I'm sitting here watching it, and I'm supposed to be in the right mind state, and the theater was packed. This was the first time I've been to a packed theater since Deadpool versus Wolverine. Like, there were no seats left. Like, I checked earlier today, like, on a whim. I was like, let me just see. Because I was going to wait until the last minute to get the tickets. Because I normally do that anyway. And I was like, let me see. And I saw it, and I was like, oh. Like, early this morning, most of the theater was already reserved for it. So I'm like, okay, there's going to be lots of people in there to laugh. And so people must be, like, craving this one. There must be some good press around it, etc. And there is, like, I haven't heard bad things about it. I might be the first person to tell you some bad things about it. But I encourage your viewers to share your live and invite more friends. Yeah, share and invite. But I came into this hoping it would be like I've heard things along the lines of it's in the same vein of, and maybe I need to go back and re-listen to what is on this on up. Yeah, oh, they shut the whole thing a bit down. Oh, shut the whole. I don't need to. No, I'm going around. Thank you, y'all got it. So I heard like, oh, it's like the Naked Gun movies, and so I'm like, okay, that's a good recommendation. That's a good place to start. There's some respect to it. Like, okay, all right, I'm down. I'm gonna go see it. I'm down. You got my money. I'm gonna go. I'm down. And I go, and it's fine. It's all right. Again, one of my problems is a lot of the jokes are in the trailers that you see. And swipe right to see more comments. Okay, thank you. All right, TikTok, thank you. A lot of the jokes are in the trailer, and I was hoping for more like shock jokes, and especially like Jeremy Johns' review. He was like, he had followed the jokes and then like found like some refreshing payoffs, and there were a couple of chuckles in there. I didn't laugh nearly as much as other people laughed in the movie. Not as hard either. It got some chuckles, but it's not quite the same. So the styles are different, but I guess it's as close as you can get to a Police Squad movie nowadays. Like, the jokes weren't bad. Like, here, okay, I'll say this. The jokes weren't bad. They weren't terrible jokes. They weren't like vampire movie quality jokes or first date movie quality jokes. They were better quality jokes. They just weren't, most of them just weren't guffaw. Most of them just weren't bust a gut worthy. You know what I mean? There were like, you could definitely feel it was in the same vein. It definitely still felt like it was written by like 12-year-olds. Right, but like the smart 12-year-olds who like understood comedy theory, like, okay, but it wasn't, but like the modern day version. So like, not as rapid fire. There wasn't as many background jokes to get and follow like there were in the original police story movie, but the Naked Gun movies and the Police Squad TV show. It wasn't joke, a million jokes a minute. So which I also think will hurt the rewatchability of it, because I don't necessarily need to see this movie again. And there's not a whole lot of stuff that like, if you like, cause I'm looking and there's not a lot of stuff that's like, oh, that's a great running joke in the background that you get if you're paying attention. You know what I mean? There were a lot of jokes that you would get if you were paying attention in the background. Now, they do some of that in the closing credits. Semi-spoiler. But in the closing credits, some of the credits are a joke to keep you there and watching through the end. So, you got that. But and now we're surrounded by a bunch of, by the biker boys, as I try to avoid the closed street on the other end. Why does Long Beach not want me to see and review movies? I just deliberately went to the non-fuck-aroundy theater. I deliberately did not go to the candlelight, the one at the Lakewood Mall, just because I didn't want any shenanigans, and I got shenanigans anyway. Anyway, and they're going down 2nd Street. Why wouldn't they go down 2nd Street? I'm coming down 2nd Street. Go ahead, buddy. No? All right. Yeah, the rapid fireness of the jokes isn't quite the same. They do have some good running gags. The quality of the jokes are good. The quality of the jokes aren't bad. They're good. They're just not the same quality as previous generations Police Squads. You know what I mean? It's just not as good. It's good, it's not as good. It's like what did they change the recipe of recently? What's a recipe that people know that they changed? It's like I don't even know. I can't even think. It's like if they changed the recipe of quality food that you liked before, and I was like, it's not quite the same. It's not as good as it used to be. It used to be really good, and I'm trying to figure out if my taste buds have changed. Yeah, but I was prepared for this. Like, I was like, all right, come in, 10-year-old sense of humor, is gonna love this. Police Squad, brain frame. You know what I mean? Like, this is the brain wave you want to be on. Not the lowest quality, but you want to be open to laughing. This is it. This is it, baby. Overture, curtain lights. This is it. This is the big show. Just laugh. Just in the mood to laugh. And I chuckled. I was in the mood to laugh, and I deliberately got myself in the mood to laugh, and I chuckled. But even then, it wasn't like, this was bad. It was like, these jokes are fine. They're not the best they're not the best. You know what I mean? They're not the best. And as a wrestling fan, I knew that Cody Rhodes was in it, and he's even like fourth build or something like that, something crazy. He's in it for 30 seconds. Like, he's in it for 30 seconds. He says 5 lines, and he's got 3 jokes. Like, and they're okay. His first joke with the glass, there's a joke that he's got. This first joke is good. And then the rest of them, like, why did he get 5th billing? Like, really? I guess he is kind of the biggest name in the movie outside of Liam Neeson and Pam Anderson, I suppose, if we're being honest. Pam Anderson, also a former WrestleMania main eventer. Eliza Koshy is in it. I recognized her. Luckily, she wasn't trying to be comedic. She was more of a straight person. And again, she was only in it for 15 seconds. Good. 5 seconds of her is fine. And she didn't make any stupid, this is funny face. It's not funny. That's not, is it humor? That's not humor. But okay. She didn't do any of that. She was mostly straight throughout it. And CCH Pounder. So Liam Neeson, Pam Anderson, CCH Pounder were the top 3, I think. Yeah, and I think Cody was like 4th. I think Cody was like 4th or 5th. Crazy. He was in it for 5 seconds. He was in it for 5 seconds. Easiest paycheck you'll ever get, I suppose. But yeah, it was fine. It was fine. It was fine. Yeah. Like I think probably the best example I could maybe give food-wise would be Carl's Jr. Carl's Jr.'s burgers, their Charborough burgers back in like the 90s were exceptional. Their burgers now are fine. Burgers now are good. Like they're good. They're fine. But the Charborough shit that they did in the 90s, top notch. Or McDonald's fries. McDonald's fries used to be crack. Used to be, I swear they were laced. They wasn't salt they put on. They sprinkled crack on. Now, they're fine if you catch them warm. They're fine if they're not cold by the time they get to you, which is strange because they should be in the fryer. It's fine, I guess. It's all right. So yeah, but fine, but okay. But like, again, not terrible, just not as good as you remember, and not even as you remember, probably not as good as it actually was back then. And so, same thing here. The jokes were fine. They weren't as good as they probably were back then, and actually weren't back then. They weren't as rapid fire. So, that's fine. We're about to get to spoiler territory because there's not much else I can say in turn. Like, it does follow, it has the rapid jokes, but it also follows a story. It actually follows a story more than you would think it does. Certainly more than I anticipated it following a story. But it did. And it was cool. It was cool for doing it. And Pam Anderson, I will say this also about Pam Anderson, not spoiler wise. There's a point in here where she gets sillier than I've ever seen her. And I've seen Pam Anderson in comedy stuff before, right? She started as the first Tool Time girl on Home Improvement. I saw her in comedy stuff before, but she always played like the same kind of vapid, one-dimensional comedy bimbo. She even had her own sitcom, Stacked, with Christopher Lloyd of all people. And It was fine, I guess, with Christopher Lloyd and the star of the new Hairspray that came out in the 2000s. It was fine. She was fine in it, playing the bimbo role who just kind of breathlessly says her lines and says her lines in the laugh track. She was fine. She was no April Bowlby, but she was fine. Here she got really silly. She got to be, but not as much as Priscilla did. Again, it's not as much. I went into this not wanting to be that guy. I went into this saying, okay, looking at some of the early reviews, everybody seems to love it. Okay, and they're not giving much away, but everybody seems to love it. The reviewers that I trust seem to love it, because that's how you should be doing with the review. You shouldn't just be listening to everybody. You should find some people that actually align with what you think, give or take, and go off of their opinion, give or take, right? And so everybody seems to love it. Okay, cool. Maybe this will be great. Maybe this will work. And it almost did. Again, it did. Not as much. It did, but not as much. And that really is the whole shebang bang, is that it's fine. It's not as much. It's good. It's not as much as Police Squad, as Naked Gun is. So as good as Pam Anderson, seeing Pam Anderson do that really silly part was, not as much as we saw Priscilla be able to do in the Naked Gun movies. Not as much. So it was good. It was good for Pam Anderson, but not as much. Liam Neeson I liked in his version of Frank Drebin's son, because they do incorporate Liam Neeson's image of action star, fighter, all that stuff, tough guy, into it and makes it funny. And Liam Neeson doesn't look like doesn't come across as, oh, I'm really trying to be the funny guy, guys, in this, the way other people have in the past. There's definitely been some super try-hardy comedy performances from action stars or former action stars that don't work. You know what I mean? The big, I'm a big guy now, waka waka. Not everybody is Arnie. You know what I mean? Sylvester Stallone can do comedy, but not quite the same way Arnie does. Steven Seagal, I think. It's not like Steven Seagal trying to be comedic. Terrible. No, he's on the better end. He's on the better end of tough guys doing comedy. It doesn't seem try-hardy. I'd like to see him in some other comedy stuff, if we're being perfectly honest. But he's good in this one, and I like how they incorporate his action style. And his partner is the son. You saw it in the trailer, and it's not really there's no real interactions with his partners. There's barely some, and not even partners. There's just that one guy. There's barely interaction with the son of George George. What's his name? Barely. So it's mostly Frank Drebin fighting bad guys and falling in love with Pam Anderson. That's it mostly. And that's not really spoiler. We are going to get into spoiler territory here. So I'm sure most of you haven't seen it. I got the earliest showing that we have out here in Cali. So if you haven't seen it yet, or you want to see it or whatever, go ahead and dip out, because I'm about to get into spoiler territory. I'm about to first off take my sip. And after I take this sip, we will dip into spoiler territory. All right. Spoiler time now. So bad guy is trying to steal, or did steal, a literal plot device. He's got some acronym for it, from the bank that you saw in the trailer. And the plot is, the thing is supposed to make the average people go crazy and fight each other and the rich billionaires will go hide out in a cave, and the last people from each sector who survive after everybody has gone nuts and killed each other will ascend with the billionaires to their new utopia of a brand new world that they hid away from underground with Weird Al Yankovic as entertainment, as the entertainment for all the evil billionaires. And so that's what this guy's done. He has an employee, or had an employee, that's Pam Anderson's brother, who suicides himself off of a cliff, but not himself. It was the guy who did it. He killed him because he was about to spill the secrets of his evil plan that was going to take place. And so Frank Drebin, Liam Neeson, and Pam Anderson team up to try to find out who murdered her brother, because she doesn't believe that he killed himself. And so they team up to go after the bad guy and stop his evil plan. And in the meantime, they fall in love with each other and shenanigans ensue. That's it. That's the story. It does follow the story quite a bit. It's actually pretty good in doing that. Like I said, the problem, it immediately starts with a problem. And I was still in a good mood because I'd even gotten there for the trailers. And I'm not really a big trailer guy, but I liked most of the trailers, actually, that I saw. There was one for an Aziz Ansari film, of all things, that is intriguing to me. And Aziz Ansari, I do not like Aziz. I do not like him. But I'm like, you know what? That's an interesting looking flick. I want to know because it's about power dynamics and the 1% versus the common man. And I'm like, what? How did he get to do? First off, did he actually get to do this movie? He must not be actually talking about anything actually good in it. Otherwise, it wouldn't be able to be made. Or maybe I got questions about it. So I'm like, I might actually see that one. And it doesn't look not terrible. He doesn't annoy me in that. And the problem with the Aziz Ansari is that he usually annoys me in anything I've ever. There is a group of comic actors, comedians, whatever, that I think come out of New York, because NBC type people seem to love them, that are just wildly annoying. That are just like, I'm the annoying guy, that's why I'm funny. Is that why you're funny? Is that your whole bit? That's the whole bit? Like, the whole bit? Like, Bobcat Goldthwait still had semi-smart jokes. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's the whole bit, is that you're just annoying? And includes Aziz Ansari. And this other guy who plays Rex on freaking, what's the show? Invincible. On Invincible. I hate that guy, but he pops up everywhere. I hate that guy, but he's everywhere. And so, there's that trailer, and even Freakier Friday. I saw the Freakier Friday trailer when I went to go see Lilo and Stitch. Lilo and Stitch sucked. It's first to $1 billion. Yes, $1 billion of crap. It was a trash ass movie. Anyway, I saw the Freakier Friday trailer when we went to go see Lilo and Stitch, and it sucked. The Freaky Friday trailer sucked. It made that movie look like such trash. It made what's her name? Lindsay Lohan look like trash. It made her look so untalented. And I know her talent and her range has changed since she's become an adult and cleaned up. Like, the stuff I have seen her in as an adult, I'm like, man, she used to be a great actress. She's not good anymore. Like, people just like seeing her not dead on a screen. She's not actually good at this anymore. And Jamie Lee Curtis, I just hate Jamie Lee Curtis at this point. But the trailer didn't look as bad as the trailer that I saw when we went to go see Lilo and Stitch. It still looked like shit, but it didn't look as bad as I have seen. But start Flash Goal. Let's Flash Goal. Let's start Flash Goal. Cool. Flash Goal. All right, thank you. Anyway, so that happens, and what am I doing? We go to the problem in the movie. We start with the first problem in the movie is that it starts with the bank robbery scene. That was the trailer for the movie in the first place. There's a couple of things in that bank robbery scene that they added in the actual film itself that was funny, and people laughed when they saw it. But the problem for me was that the bank robbery scene in the trailer wasn't Mr. Super Hilarious trailer. Like trailer, you know what I mean? Like it wasn't like, that's the most hilarious trailer I've ever seen. I gotta go see that movie. It should have been something different. And that's what I was afraid of when we started. I'm like, damn, I'm gonna see it and I've already seen it. I shouldn't have seen this already. You know what I mean? For a movie like this, the trailer should be something completely different. It shouldn't be what you actually see and or be the thing in the movie. It really shouldn't. Should be something completely different. It shouldn't be what you actually see and or be the thing in the movie. It really shouldn't. Cause the thing with comedy is not expecting it, not expecting the punchline. Part of it is not seeing the punchline coming. And I've seen many of these punchlines coming because I saw the trailer already. And so the first part of it, again, good jokes, well-formed jokes, well-formulated jokes, even well-edited jokes. They stay as long as they should stay on the screen, but they're not. I've been here, done it already. I wanted something new. I wanted something fresh. And then almost immediately we cut to the police squad and we cut to the scene where they're all kneeling in front of the pictures. And we get to OJ and the guy does, I don't think so. And everybody gives their clap laughter. And it's like, oh, okay. But that's it. We're not following that kid? Okay. Cause we just did, fuck you, OJ. Right, okay, fine. But that's it, that's the joke. And that should have, again, only been in either the trailer or the movie. It shouldn't have been in both. So it was probably, I want to say, the first 10 minutes of the movie is stuff you've seen already. And that, I didn't need, that's too long. That's too upfront. It's too, it's not, I'm not the biggest fan of that. We get to, yes. Oh, such a loud engine. Your penis is so large. So we go through that. Eventually we do a scene where Liam Neeson meets Pam Anderson in his office, and Pam Anderson in the movie looks better than Pam Anderson I've seen her. I guess because she actually wears makeup in this, and her face now works with minimal makeup. Like she's not doing the clown stuff she did in the 90s, but you know she looks. So yeah, so that tells you how much makeup she wore then. Now that she's going makeupless, her face is unrecognizable. That's in good. Look, good for her for trying to revert some of it back and take out some of that plastic surgery she put in her face, which is ironic because I saw this at an AMC, and the first female the movie's immediately preceded by Nicole Kidman's scrunched in anteater, whatever Jackson Pollock painting face, telling me that movies are magic. I can't believe they're still doing that. Anyway, yeah, so he gets on the case. She tells him that she doesn't believe that her brother committed suicide, that he was actually killed, and then it goes into following his boss, who's the evil guy who wants to do the evil plan of making people stupid, and it's Drebin trying to infiltrate it, get the plot device, stop the big bombing from happening. He only does it momentarily. Like he doesn't do it though for a while. Like the evil guy kind of gets away with it and people start losing their minds, or some people do. Other people have the earbud blockers in so that they don't have to. And then it eventually ends in a motorcycle chase and a fight that's not a fight. But it is kind of funny. Like, it's hard to kind of even tell spoilers without giving away some of the jokes, especially some of the better jokes. I will say that, like, there's a good, like I said, Cody Rhodes was in it for all of like 2 minutes. He has a joke initially. His first joke is really good. I won't give that away, but his other jokes are meh. Weird Al Yankovic, the jokes are well constructed. I keep going back and forth saying meh, but it's not meh in that they're not well constructed jokes. It's meh in that they didn't make me laugh. It's meh in that, it's like, ha ha. Like, I see what you did there. I get it. I see what you did there, but it doesn't hit me. And it's not even like, because not the jokes were mid or not well constructed or meh or whatever. It's that they weren't, I don't know, they weren't sharp enough for me. You know what I mean? Especially expecting Police Squad. It's not the same as Police, and it's not going to be the same. And I was fine with it not being the same. I was fine with the pacing. I was fine with them following the story of the chase more than just rapid fire jokes all the time. You know what I mean? Or really more doing, just filling more of the space with the story to get to the next set of circumstances. They filled that world in well. The world around Drebin and stuff feels real enough for this universe. I wish there were more jokes, though. I wish there were more rapid fire jokes, though. I wish, and I wonder, and I brought this up before when I've to other people that I know, because I've seen certain shows where they're designed to be watch on second screen background stuff, right? It's designed to not have you look all the time. And I hope they didn't put some of that into this Naked Gun movie, because that would actually contradict the spirit of the whole gimmick in the first place. What with Police Squad being canceled by ABC because it was too rapid fire. It had too many jokes per minute. This didn't have that. This didn't have as many jokes per minute. This didn't have any, when it did do the cluster of jokes, they weren't as rapid fire. It wasn't, there was, even the people that laughed in the theater with me, because everybody laughed more than I did. Even in the theater that laughed with me, there was no huge laughter from anybody or even the whole thing where people are busting guts, people can't, there was no one's soul was leaving their body with the way they laughed at the biggest laugh of the movie. I can't even recall what the biggest laugh of the movie is. I can't even recall it. And it's not because there were so many of them. I can't recall it. Deadpool versus Wolverine, there were a whole bunch of rapid fire laughs and jokes. There were a whole bunch. People were dying. I was dying. I don't remember any here. I don't remember any. There were laughs or ha 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 ha. It didn't get to maybe 3 or 4 ha 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 ha's. Got to like 2. Again, it was fine. It was good. It was, you know, it was good. On a scale of 1 to 10, I'm gonna wrap this up. On a scale of 1 to 10, or not 1 to 10, on a scale of $15, 0 to $15. Man, and that's the problem. That's the problem. Now, the closing credits to me were the cleverest part, because they changed some names. They added some different departments or names, right? They had stage dresser, and then they had stage dressing, ranch Italian, whatever. Funny, clever, stuff you had to pay attention to, right? That I liked. That stuff was good. There was a couple of good spots in there. Once you got past the first 10 minutes where they already showed you that in the thing, like I said, Pam Anderson, she does some scatting on stage to try to distract the evil guy. And she goes overboard, and seeing that different side of her was really endearing. I like seeing that different side of her. That was funny. That was the funniest thing she did all movie. And again, Liam Neeson, because he can fight, incorporating that into his version of Frank Drebin in this movie works. The way he fights henchmen, he even fights Bruce Buffer at one point, him, knocking people out left and right. And there's this one gun scene outside the arena where he doesn't shoot people. He shoots one person with their own tooth, but everybody else, he shoots his clips. The clips from his gun shoot at people and bounce back to him and back in the slot and stuff. That's really clever and really good. There were things in it that were really good and really clever. It wasn't enough of them, and they weren't fast enough. They weren't enough, and they weren't fast enough. And they weren't rapid fire enough. The pacing of them weren't like, there was nothing to pace it to make you die laughing. And with Naked Gun, there has to be at least one point in the movie, and you should, especially a comedy like that, there needs to be at least one point in the movie, and you got to get there in the first, you get a 90-minute movie, say 15 minutes or so, 15-ish minutes, 15, you might be able to get away with 20 if you build the story well enough, but you better get there in the first 15 minutes of the movie. The first large laughter in a person to start them dying. Because then it'll be easier to hit another high point 10 minutes later, another high point 10 minutes later, another high point 5 minutes later, another high point 15 minutes later, another high point 10 minutes later. It'll be easier to hit. You should have the classics have in 90 minutes, say 5-ish of those moments, of those huge moments, right? Those huge moments. And that doesn't sound like a lot, but they keep you up here enough so that you hit this peak and you need to come back down. And then it's like telling any other story. It's like telling a musical story. It's like telling a wrestling story. You have the super high points. You don't need too many of them. And then you come down, you level it out, you bring it back up. You need to level it out. And this didn't have as many high points as it needed, and it didn't have the ramp ups that it needed to me to justify it being considered a great movie. It's fine. I want it to be better. I want it to be better. Again, there were some well-constructed jokes. I got them. They didn't make me bust up. And I was in the mood to bust up. I could have gotten there. And I chuckled. So out of $15, I would say the new Naked Gun movie, for the quality of the jokes, I'm going to give it extra points. For a couple of the high points I mentioned, CCH Pounder was pretty good at it too. And they told the line, they didn't get into super duper, real life ramifications of cops and whatever, a whole bunch. There was a joke, one of Cody Rhodes' jokes about how Frank treated his brother, and Frank was like, I do that to everybody. He's like, he was white. Oh, that guy, I remember. Right? That was funny, but it didn't get into all of the real life politics of it, which was another good thing. And it was good. And see, okay, so here's a joke. They did a joke in there. There's a Bill Cosby joke in there that's better than the OJ joke, in part because you didn't hear it coming. I guess I just gave it away. But there's a joke in there about Bill Cosby that is better because you don't know until you hear it, versus the OJ joke, which felt forced. We don't like OJ. Great. Terrific. Fine. I shouldn't have seen that in the trailer. Or if I saw that in the trailer, I shouldn't have seen it in the movie. And that's the problem with the Naked Gun movie, is that too many of the best jokes are in the trailer. And they shouldn't be. The trailer should have been something completely different. You can do that. You can make the trailer something completely different that's not from the movie. But they didn't. But they did do some good things that are well. I liked Liam Neeson in it. Pam Anderson was good in it. I liked CCH Pounder. I always liked CCH Pounder. I will say, so out of $15, the new Naked Gun movie, is probably worth about I'll give it, it's above average. The materials are above average. The end product isn't great. So I'll give it an 850 out of 15. Because again, the materials you're working with are good. And you're even putting them together the exact way that the textbook tells you to put them together are good. And you're even putting them together the exact way that the textbook tells you to put them together, right? The L screw is in there and the thing, and you twisted it, and you put the knot on it and the corner on it, and it looks perfectly the way it's supposed to look. But there's no, but it's still not the same. It's still a facsimile of. It's still a reissue of the toys. It's like the reissue of the Power Rangers toys and the Zords, right? They scaled them smaller, they made them a different plastic. You know what I mean? They put stickers on stuff and they painted certain spots and stickers on other spots. And some of the parts of the Zords don't move while other parts were supposed to move back in the original ones. You know what I mean? Like it's a facsimile of, and they sell it to you as, they don't sell it to you as the same thing, but they sell it to you as here's a reissue. And you're supposed to just accept it and say, yay, except you liked the extra articulation that you had in the different places, right? You liked that part and this one doesn't have it, right? Or the new reissue of the Ninja Turtle toys. Why is Raphael that shade of green? He wasn't that shade of green in the original issue. I looked at pictures of the original issue just recently. He wasn't that shade of green. He was a brighter green than the rest, but he wasn't Toxic Crusader green. He wasn't ooze green. He was just slightly brighter green. So yeah, $8.50 out of $15, I think, for Lethal Weapon. Not necessarily my cup of tea. I mean, it is. It should be my cup of tea. It should be good. It should be better than it is. It's not as great as it could be. It's not as great as it could be. Again, they had the materials. They even put them together the textbook proper way. Just meh, though. Just not, I'm not, you know, not, it's not hitting me in that sweet spot. You know what I mean? In any event, this is the first time I tried the TikTok live stream. I'm glad that somebody came in every once in a while. I'm glad that it actually worked. So now I can actually do more of it and figure other stuff out and maybe make this my new movie review home. I got to see if it'll actually download the stream once I get off of here so I can post it to other places. Speaking of other places, you can find me other places. I'm Surreal469 on everything. SURREAL, the number is 469. But the thing I'm really focused on right now in terms of content is the Podecito podcast. PODECITO. We rewatch the NBC show Las Vegas week by week. Every Monday an episode drops, whether it's early Monday or late Monday, that's another thing, but every Monday an episode drops. We're in season 2 right now. I'm on TikTok as well, the Podecito. There's a whole bunch of stuff that you can get there, a whole bunch of clips and stuff that you can find there, stuff that most of which TikTok has said, all right, we'll clear the music, even though it's all fair use, but whatever. Sometimes TikTok doesn't understand that. So the Podecito is the big thing you can follow me on if you want to support. I appreciate that. And in the meantime, the in-between time, thank y'all for joining. Peace.